We go together. Better than birds of a feather, you and me. We change the weather. Yeah, I'm feeling heat in December when you're around me. I'm a sucker for you. You say the word and I'll go anywhere blindly. I'm a sucker for you, yeah. Any road you take, you know that you'll find me. I'm a sucker for all the subliminal things no one knows about you, about you, about you. And you're making the typical me break my typical rules. It's true, I'm a sucker for you. Hello, and today we are doing Emirates FA Cup predictions for the fifth round of the 2020 to 21 season. And that was the song of the midweek, Sucker by Jonas Brothers. So, there's some tasty FA Cup games to predict this game, this game week, this video. So let's get straight into them. The colour of the midweek is going to be yellow, and the theme of the midweek is going to be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Why not? So let's get into my predictions. Bear with, people, whilst we get ready for it. So, I think, if I'm right in saying, that the first game to predict is between... Who is it? I'm not actually sure who it is, you know. There was a thing I had about it, but I can't actually see that now. Alright, no worries. It's fine. No problem at all. Let me just check that for you, people. Yep. That's fair play, fair play. It's definitely going to be on here then, isn't it? It's got to be here. Surely. Yeah, I've got to say, I really can't see it. Thought I would be able to, but I genuinely can't. Okie dokie. We will get there in a second. Okay. Here we go. We found it. We found it. Took our time, but we got there. So, it's Burnley against Bournemouth, and it kicks off today at 5:30 now. What do I think about this one? Well, this was, of course, a Premier League clash in the last season. And it could end up being, once again, next season if Bournemouth manage to get promoted. Do I think they will do that? No, personally, but we'll see. And the Clarets, if they can stay up, of course. And do I think they'll do that? Yeah, probably. The home side have won their last 4 head-to-heads against Bournemouth and conceded just twice. So I think that good form against the Cherries for Sean Dyche's men will continue. And I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory for Burnley at Turf Moor. Who am I going to say for the goals on the day, though? That is a difficult one, I've got to say. But the thing about the FA Cup is you can always guarantee the uncertainty. You don't know who's going to play, and you don't know who is going to get given a chance, really, because with the FA Cup you've got opportunity to rotate, really. But I'm going to go for those 2 goals scored by the Clarets. Let's say the first one is scored by, let's see, it's going to be Jay Rodriguez, and the second for Burnley will be scored by the midfielder, Dwight McNeil. He scored against Bournemouth, I do believe, in this fixture in the Premier League last season. Alright, let's move on to the next game in this FA Cup match week. And it is, of course, a game up between Manchester United and West Ham United. Very nice game. Should be an exciting one. An all Premier League clash for this game. And in their last 6 meetings, there's been 2 draws and 2 United wins and 2 West Ham victories. So there hasn't been a lot to separate them in the recent encounters. The grim news actually for the Hammers fans is the fact that they haven't won at Old Trafford since 2007, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, was still playing for the Manchester United squad and for the Red Devils, and that means the home side are, of course, massive favourites for this game. And West Ham are having a very good season, so they could make the upset, but I just don't see it here. I think Man United will really want this FA Cup, seeing as they couldn't get through to the final of the Carabao Cup. And Old Trafford is going to be an interesting one, but I just think their record at Old Trafford is just too bad for West Ham to recover in this game. And I'm going to go for a comfortable 3-1 win for Manchester United. And obviously, we had a great game up between these two teams back in the 2015-16 season with this game in the FA Cup. And I'm pretty sure it was an absolute screamer from a free kick from Dimitri Payet. Those days are over, and I think that it went to a replay, and then United won the replay with Martial scoring, Rashford scoring an absolute stunner. So those are the days of the replays. Those are over, obviously for COVID reasons to reduce the games getting played and the busy schedule. So fair play. It's only a one-off game here, but I do think that it will be a fairly comfortable one for the Red Devils. So in this 3-1 victory over the Hammers, I think goals will come on the day. First of all from the midfielder, Fred McTominay. Yeah, sick one. No, not Fred, just McTominay. So Scott McTominay scores the first. He scored against Watford in the third round, and I think he's going to do it again in the fifth round. And then West Ham equalise to make it 1-1 through the other midfielder. This time it's Jared Bowen. But then West Ham do lose the game, and it's 2 goals to pull away from the Red Devils. First of all, from Edinson Cavani, who's been in good form. And then a goal that's scored by Victor Lindelof. Okay, now we've got the game to predict. That is between, of course, Swansea City and Manchester City. Now, talking of recent FA Cup, games against each other, this was another one that I remember last season was a thrilling one. 3-2 in the end it finished, and Swansea really pushed them hard, but Sergio Aguero had a good day. Now Sergio Aguero is out. He's been missing pretty much the whole season, and he's not looking like he's going to return in that soon of a time. So yeah, they have learnt to play without him, Sergio Aguero, and they have been doing it pretty well, getting lots of wins, Manchester City, and what a win it was at Anfield. Absolutely trumping Liverpool, and Phil Foden is a class player. This kind of competition is exactly where he shines, and exactly what he would want really to show his potential, and just say to the gaffer, mate, I should be getting some more games. But if Aguero had played this game, I'm sure he would have been another threat for Swansea here. But I do feel Man City won't be shocked by Swansea. Swansea have been a good team this season. Andre Ayew staying loyal and still scoring goals. And I do remember Swansea, making some FA Cup upsets in the past. But I just don't see it here. I think it's going to be Swansea City to lose this by 1-3. The same score as the Manchester United game. And in this one, I think Swansea will go ahead because they're fast starters. And the goal will come from Conor Hourihane. Scored a great goal against Norwich, and I think he's going to do it again against the table toppers. Instead, it's Manchester City in the Premier League, not table toppers of the Championship that Norwich are. But then I think Man City will easily come back with the quality they've got, and I think the goals on the day will come from Bernardo Silva, and then second of all it will be Gabriel Jesus, and then the third for Manchester City is the second for Bernardo Silva. And that wraps up my prediction. Let's move on to the next game, which is of course going to be between Leicester City and Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, another all-Premier League clash. It's going to be a good one. The Foxes are massive favourites to progress though to the next round. And as well as flying high in the Premier League, they're also on a 7-game unbeaten run against the Seagulls. So Graham Potter's men will be quaking in their boots a little bit. That includes a very good 3-0 thrashing of them in December, and also a 3 a group of 3 2-0 wins. So, yeah, I think Leicester are the favourites, and I think they're probably deserving to be. The season they've had, they've been amazing. Whether they rotate in this game, they obviously have the top 4 to think about, and they're going to try and secure that this season in the Premier League. But Brighton probably want to focus on maybe getting security and safety, in their back pocket for the Premier League. So will they play a strong team either? But at the end of the day, it is the 5th round, so it's getting to the business end now. Maybe the Premier League teams will strengthen their sides, but I still think Leicester, even if they slightly weaken their team, they'll be good enough to get the 3 points. So I'm going to go for Leicester City 2, Brighton Hove Albion 1. And goal scorers in this game, well, it's a tough one, but I'm going to go for the first goal, going to come from Neil Maupay for the away side, but then Leicester respond to get the tie and get into the quarterfinals with goals coming on the day, first of all from Harvey Barnes, and then second of all, I think the man that basically is the winner, the hero to get the final win, is a goal from the midfielder Yuri Tielemans, and I think that goal will be an absolute stormer. Alright, let's move on to the next FA Cup game, which is of course Sheffield United against Bristol City. Now this, people, is one you want to circle in your calendar. Not necessarily because it's going to be an absolute thrilling game, but it could be some FA Cup history. A cup upset could very much be on the cards. Now Bristol City in the Championship have been on pretty poor form. Sheffield United have been terrible all season. But the last 5 or 6 games, they've started to pick up in confidence. Got a massive win at Old Trafford, beat Newcastle, and beat West Brom. So getting wins around them that was important. And they will want to have a little run in the cup. Whether it hinders their chances of, surviving the drop, we don't know. But wins can breed confidence, as we saw with their win over, of course, Bristol Rovers earlier on in the cup. And now they face Bristol City this time. So it's a really tough one to call. I think Sheffield United are going to want to win, but Bristol City on their day can pack a punch with Naki Wells and Semenyo, so it should be a good game to watch. Given Sheffield United's shocking form this season, an away win is probable, and I wouldn't be that surprised. It wouldn't be much of an upset. They just got past League One Plymouth, did Sheffield United in the last round. And I can probably see them struggling again against the Robins. But will it mean they are out of the FA Cup? I think it will. I'm going to back Bristol City here. I don't think it'll be, in terms of goals, a massive game of spectacle. But it will still be an entertaining one. Probably end-to-end, quite a few chances. But we know with both of those teams that we can't actually see many goals because their forward lines are both quite wasteful. But I think Bristol City will get the win. And I'm going for a 1-0 win to the Robins away from home. And the man that gets the winner for the team, well, this is a tough one. But I'm going to go for, who are we going to say? To get the winner for Bristol City, I mean, who realistically is going to play? Let's say the goal comes from, I don't know. Let's go with it. Let's go with Viner. Viner for Bristol City sends them into the quarterfinals. All right, now we've got, of course, Everton versus Tottenham, another all-Premier League clash, and by now we've got, so little teams that it's probably expected to be that case because, the Premier League clubs will probably get most of the wins. But it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because in these last 16 of the competition, Everton come into it in pretty decent form in the league. They've been picking up wins. The point against Manchester United was brilliant. And, Calvert-Lewin back in the goals. James Rodriguez, causing problems for other defences. And Spurs will be looking at this thinking, well, if we blow this one and, we blow the final against Manchester City, I think it is, in the cup, then they'll be fuming. But at the end of the day, it's a big cup for Spurs to prove their worth. Now, there's 2 legendary managers facing each other up, of course, Carlo Ancelotti and Jose Mourinho, and they're going head-to-head in this game, with Mourinho and Ancelotti both lifting the famous trophy, the FA Cup, as managers of Chelsea. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting tale here, but, you'd think that the Toffees would have actually, you know, got this game in the palm of their hand. It's home advantage. They haven't got the fans, of course. No team has got the fans with games behind closed doors. But at the end of the day, Tottenham, they haven't got a game away to Everton that they've lost. They haven't lost at Goodison Park in their last 7 trips, with the aggregate score being 13-5 to the Londoners, which is absolutely remarkable stuff. So Everton will be, you know, packing a punch, hoping to be the underdogs, but Spurs know they do have a good record there. So I think this is going to be a one that goes to extra time. They're both very good, ambitious teams, maybe punching above their weight at times, especially Everton, but they should be doing better and certainly pushing for that top 4, which is what Spurs will want to do. But there's so many teams around there, and Everton may be more likely the top 6 this season. But who even knows? It's the FA Cup. Anything can happen. So I'm going to say in normal time it ends Everton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. And the goals in that game, well, I shall say the first is from Richarlison for the home side, but then Spurs get their equaliser to take it into extra time, and that goal will be coming indeed from the midfielder, Gareth Bale. I say midfielder, more of a winger really, but yeah, that's what we're going to go with. And then I think it's going to be 1 in extra time. I don't think it's going to go all the way to penalties, but I think after extra time it will finish Everton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. And the man that gets the winner for the away side in extra time will be Steven Bergwijn. Alright, let's get into the last couple of games. We've got Wolves versus Southampton first. And that is a game on the Thursday, 7? No, sorry. It's the 7th game of the game week, but no, 5:30 kickoff on the 11th. And an interesting one again, because it's an all Premier League game, and you would have thought that previous to this round, the last round, it would be Arsenal facing Southampton, but fair play Southampton. Well, they did face them, but the point is, you would have thought it'd be Wolves playing against Arsenal, but Southampton, you know, shocked the odds and did well. I mean, it's incredible when you think about it. The people like Adama Traore have only, you know, scored 1 goal this season, I'm pretty sure, in the FA Cup, none in the league, and not even any assists as well. So yeah, Wolves are struggling to get goals, of course, without Raul Jimenez. And I feel like I mention it every week that injury has really hurt them. But it has, you know, the way they play is on the counter-attack. They've started to be a bit more slow in their build-up, which probably frustrates a lot of Wolves fans. And they're still having to get confidence back for the likes of the new guy, Willian Jose, and obviously Fabio Silva's so young. So they're still at the building blocks, but they need to be scoring more goals, and there's enough talent in their team to do that. And Pedro Neto will want to step up to that mantelpiece and, well, to the plate, I should say, not really the mantelpiece. But it's an interesting game here against Southampton. Now, these two sides have actually had very different 4th round opponents, but exactly the same result, of course. Wolves with a 1-0 over non-league Chorley. A bit of a relief for a lot of Wolves fans that to avoid the upset. Whereas Southampton got a 1-0 over the FA Cup's holders. Of course, most successful side in the competition, Arsenal, thanks to an own goal from Gabriel that just sneaked under Bird Leno. But Southampton will take what they can get. Will they get a win here? I think so. I think they're a good side to watch. I just don't think Wolves have got enough goals in them. But I am going to say that Wolves do get the first goal of the game, and it will come from Pedro Neto. But then Southampton hit back to make it Wolves 1, Southampton 4. I know, 4-1 is bold, but I've just got a feeling this Southampton team, yes, they've been hit for confidence, but they still are quality going forward. They've still got Che Adams, they've still got Ward-Prowse, and they've even got people like Moussa Dejanipo who can step in for these FA Cup games. And he's a pretty good player. So for this game, we're going to say goals for the Saints. First of all, come from, let's say it's going to be Moussa Dejanipo. And then 2 goals come from Che Adams to make it 3-1. And then we will say that the 4th goal is scored by the defender, Ryan Bertrand. And I know what you're saying. You might say, oh, well, you know, Neto is not going to be played in the FA Cup. Maybe that's right. And if he isn't, then we're going to change that for João Moutinho to get the goal. But we'll see what happens. That's what I'm going to go with originally, Pedro Neto. But then the crowning moment from Ryan Bertrand to send Southampton into the quarter-final. They got to Wembley before quite recently, but then of course got knocked out 2-0 by Chelsea with Olivier Giroud doing the bits. And talking of Olivier Giroud, let's go on to Chelsea because that's the last game to predict. Barnsley against Chelsea. Now Barnsley won't fancy themselves here unless they conjure up some magic upset, but I just don't see it. It's one to watch certainly though because, you know, I think Barnsley, a lot of people at the start of the season would have predicted them to finish, you know, in the relegation zone of the Championship, but they're actually surprisingly sitting fairly comfortably in mid-table. They've got an impressive 1-0 win in the last round, of course, against a rotated Norwich team that really didn't turn up on the day, but it was a good win nonetheless. You know, they're doing quite good, decent things, Barnsley, this season, but they're going to have to really be up against it and really be up for it against Thomas Tuchel's side. You know, for their first taste of the FA Cup, Tuchel wants it. Can Barnsley get through to the quarterfinals? I don't think so, but it might be a tougher game for this Chelsea team than people think. I think that Tuchel probably will field a strong 11, but I think the Tykes could make it difficult for the Blues on the day. So we're going to go for the best game of the weekend in terms of goals. Well, apart from that Southampton game, but 5 goals in this one, and I'm saying Barnsley 2, Chelsea 3. I know I have been a bit boring, I haven't gone with many shocks, but I did go with Bristol City, so I suppose you could call it that. But let's move on to the goal scorers in this 3-2 win for Chelsea away from home. I think the first goal is going to be scored actually by Barnsley, Cauley Woodrow to get the opener. But then we shall say that oh, what's going on? What's going on here? Wait a sec, people. Wait a sec. Something dodgy's gone on. Okay. There we go. Right. Back to reality. Yeah, Barnsley versus Chelsea. We will say the goal scorers. First of all, yeah, Cauley Woodrow, and then Chelsea score through, let's say, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and then Barnsley go ahead again, but this time it will be through, I mean, obviously Barnsley in the last round beat Norwich, so they'll still find it hard here, but I think they will do well, and I think Callum Styles, who scored against Norwich, is going to score again to make it 2-1, but Chelsea hit back, we know they can do that in any given day. They've got the quality to turn up, and I think those goals to get the win on the end of it will be, first of all, from the defender, that is Reece James, and then second of all, it's going to be the third for the Blues from Timo Werner. And that wraps up my predictions for the 5th round of the FA Cup. I hope you have enjoyed. Smash a like on the video, comment your score predictions down below, and it's going to be 3 points for the correct result, and then it's going to be 7 points for the correct scoreline. And if it's obviously correct result and then it's penalties either way, you said a penalty win and it was 90-minute win, etc., you still get the correct result points and the correct score points. And if you get the exact penalties, if you had a game going to penalties and you got the score on penalties right, then you just get, overall 10 points, because that's just mad. The chances of that happening are pretty low. Although, saying that, I did that in a recent FA Cup predictions when it was Blackpool against West Brom. Got the penalties right, so, we'll take it. But anyway, that wraps up my predictions for the 5th round. As I said, comment yours down below, and I shall see you in the next one.